Right. Good morning, everyone, and thank you very much for joining this Saturday morning. People are joining still, so let them join and we can start. So thank you very much, Rikon sir, for joining today's session and giving your valuable time for the community and to our. Right. Good morning, everyone, and thank you very much for.
Hello.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yeah, earlier you were mute.
Okay. No problem. So I'll introduce today's speaker. Today's speaker is Mr. Rikunj Sindwat. He has 3+ years experience and has worked with leading corporate IT security firms. And also he was into training industry prior. I've also learned a lot from him. Also, he has wide experience into red teaming, web and API pen testing, and like he writes a lot of scripts, tools, and malwares. Obviously, he has that. He has multiple CVs from top companies such as Microsoft, AMD, Sonic Wall, Discord, etc. And he has published a couple of articles at Pentest Mag also. He has written and shared tools scripts for Red Team, for Red Team, and also he is a public speaker over multiple cybersecurity conferences, and he is OSCP and OSWE certified. So that was just a short introduction of him, and sorry if I missed anything. You can surely add the concern. So thank you very much for joining today morning with us and for guiding our interns. Thank you.
Thank you so much to invite me, first of all. And hello, everyone. Please let me know once everyone is joined the expected audience at least. And once it is, then we'll initiate with the process. So, yeah.
Yes, sir. We can start. Actually, we have already gone live, and we can start. So whoever is joining it, they can cover up with the live session. That is not an issue.
Okay, that's wonderful. Super. So, hello, everyone. As you all are aware that today's topic will be on Windows privilege escalation. The specific topic is completely very vast because Windows is never been designed for simplicity. And when there is something which is not simple, then of course the exploitation for the same is not simple at all. However, I'll be covering some basic privilege escalation topics, couple of topics, not more than that. But I'll even help you to guide about how and what you can learn from where you can learn as well. So yeah, this is all about Windows privilege escalation that you will be learning. And again, thank you so much for thank you so much to Nikhil that is doing such a great for our India is doing so much freelance works, and yeah, it's really great to meet you and great to having me here. So yeah, let's just begin. I'll start with my quick introduction, which is already delivered by Nikhil. So yeah, I have some experience, little experience with the red team stuff, doing some writing tools for red teaming. I have a couple of CVs as well, couple of articles published, and of course, I have some certificates which I have mentioned here. So everything was already delivered. So I think we should move ahead. So my name, Rikun Sindwar, you can just Google my name and you'll get all my information. It's as simple as that. So yeah, let's begin. So agenda for today will be very simple and decent one, and it will be beginner friendly, I would say. The whole topic will be mostly covered, or whole topic will be covered in a practical manner. Theoretical part is also important. So yeah, I'll try to focus more on practical, how along with the theoretical concept. I mean, what's the back end, why the vulnerability exists, and XYZ. We'll start with the introduction where I'll explain, or where I'll just giving you a basic information about what is a privilege escalation, or how privilege escalation, why privilege escalation, and XYZ. There will be some expectation for me from you that yeah, you guys should be aware of some basic concept, because those basic concepts are really important when you really wish to do a privilege escalation task, correct? The next we'll be focusing two basic vulnerabilities. The first one is Autologon credential, where we'll explain everything about it. Of course, there is a uh, specific slide for the same. So yeah, the next vulnerability is unported service path. I'll explain in detail in a later slide, so no worries at all. The next is when we learn about those vulnerabilities, I will be more focusing on finding it manually and exploiting it, right? Where the automation comes, that makes it simple. So I'll even help you out to how you can automate that task. Of course, I'm not going to explain how you can write your own scripts, how you can write your own tools. That is not something which I'll be concerned about or I'll be focusing. But yeah, there are plenty of scripts available, tools available, which you can utilize easily. And by just using those tools, it's pretty much straightforward. And you will get everything in front of your screen. So that is plus plus. Next, while exploiting, I will not going to include any defender or security mechanism for simplicity, right? However, you can try to make your own or make your own custom script exploits in order to perform that. I'll help you out how you can do that task as well. But yeah, in this case, I'll not gonna do that at all. Let's focus on next. What's next? What should I learn next? Once you are done with those two vulnerabilities about Windows privilege escalation, what you should learn next, because that is something, okay, I'm aware about Autologon credential, you will be aware about Windows service path. What should the topic you should learn next? So I'll just give you some basic guidance from where you should learn. I'll give you some guidance from where you can learn, of course, for free. I'm not going to tell you to purchase any course or something. Everything will be free. Keep in mind, hackers never pay for learning. That is something. Hackers should never pay for learning. Keep this in mind. What's the best approach to learn next? Well, yeah, I'll explain everything when the slide begins. Okay. So is any doubts, queries, question for this agenda topic? If you have, you can just raise your hand. I'll give you a slot and yeah, we can continue. Okay, I got one question. Someone is saying, sir, we need to know about your OSCP journey as well. Well, I did OSCP in 2020. At that time, it was quite simple. I hear that recent changes implemented Active Directories and the machines are quite hard. So I might not be the right person to help you out in that case. But yeah, if I manage to get some free time, maybe the next or next to next session will be assigned for that OSCP, how what you can learn, or I'll be sharing a couple of my resources based on OSCP. So yeah, I'll help you out for the same. But that's out of topic, so you'll get that in the later on. Okay. I see no questions, so we are good to move ahead. Good. Okay, prerequisites, expectation from you guys that you should be a Windows user. If you are using Mac, if you haven't used Windows, then probably this will going to quite difficult for you, but it will be not super difficult. Of course, you can learn Windows easily. It's a simple for using. It's a user friendly. However, it's not simple when it comes for the security, when it comes for the development, when it comes for anything related to other than the regular usage, right? So Windows is really complicated. There are tons of concept. There is an entire book is written, Windows internals, with almost like thousands of pages. So yeah, Windows is really complicated. Okay. Then the next is you should aware with creating Trojan with MSF Venom. Okay, MSF Venom, if you are not aware, what is it? Then Metasploit framework has a tool or a script that allows you to create Trojan. Trojan is nothing but a malware or your payload or something, I can say, right? Okay, so that is something is prerequisite. So if you are watching later on, you should start understanding all this first. Then you are quite good to move ahead into the next journey. Okay, so let's begin with our journey. What is privilege escalation? Okay, well, everyone knows that when privilege escalation is technique that enables execution of unauthorized action. When you can perform any unauthorized activity or actions, then that is simple privilege escalation, right? In simple term, execution of a command with other accounts than the one you are authorized can be considered as a privilege escalation. That is just one case. Okay, there can be multiple cases, there can be a number of cases basically, but one of the cases when you can execute command behalf of others, right? Then yeah, that is something you did a privilege escalation. There is two types. Okay, there are total two types of privilege escalation: the vertical and horizontal. Not just for Windows privilege escalation, not just for Linux privilege escalation. It's for entire. If you consider for web, if you consider for any kind of privilege escalation, the two main entities will gonna be in front of your screen. And the first one is of course vertical. The second one is horizontal. Let's start with the vertical. So vertical is something that you'll get a higher privilege account. Okay, higher privilege means mostly you can consider that it's a admin account. So when you have a normal user access and when you can perform an activity behalf of administrator, okay, or you can come execute your command through administrator or admin account, then that is considered in a vertical, right? That you are going higher. Vertical means straight, right? Then you are going higher. The horizontal is pretty much simple, that the line is horizontal and basically you can execute a task through other user with almost similar privileges. Like there is a user A, user B, both are non-admin, and if you can read data from user A to user B, then yeah, that is something is even considered as a privilege escalation with the term horizontal, right? You will get couple of more examples when you search about it. This is just a basic idea I'm giving you, that yeah, there is a term vertical, there is a term horizontal that you should must aware of. Okay, if a user is able to read or write or execute system files, that can be only allowed to administrator, is also part of the same. Part of the same means it's a part of privilege escalation. But as it is administrators, then administrators has full privileges, right? It's a highest topmost privileges. Then it comes under vertical privilege escalation. Simple as that, right? So I'm repeating the same. Privilege escalation, when you can perform an unauthorized actions. There are two types, vertical and horizontal. You can simplify it. Vertical is a straight line, means you can get a higher privileges, right? And horizontal is the it's a horizontal line basically. Then you'll get a similar kind of privileges, but you're still able to read data, write data, or execute programs in behalf of others. Correct? So yeah, we'll be focusing on both the topic. First, we'll initiate with the horizontal privilege escalation. Then we'll move to the vertical. The topic is designed in such a way that you will get an idea of both type of privilege escalation. Okay, as simple as that. Any queries, questions for the same? For the same slide, if you have, you can raise your hand. There is a button, so I'll get notified. Okay, sounds good. I got a message that no, sir. Super. No need to tell. Say, sir. Okay, why privilege escalation? That is even important. What are the things you can do when you do or when you perform the privilege escalation? Some of you might already aware of, because you are lead, of course. So the main reason of performing privilege escalation is you can perform the maximum impact over the victim machine. Okay, I'm focusing on offensive way here, but yeah, just consider that with the normal user, you can You might be able to access their browser to read some files, saved password or something. But when you have the system level privilege, when you have the administrator level privilege, you can change their passwords. You can even add new users. You can do a lot of things, right? There are lots of things which you can do. The main reason I said here is to perform the maximum impact over the victim machine. The first case will be removing or pausing the security tools. Security tools you can consider as a defender, antiviruses, or any kind of similar tools that provides a security to that operating system. With the normal user, you cannot pause, you cannot stop, you cannot even remove it, right? You need privilege access. So that's the only reason or most important reason to perform the privilege escalation. The next, you can get a maintaining access. Maintaining access means, of course, where if I want my access to be there for a long, very long, at least till the time that system is there, then what I'm gonna do? I'll perform a maintaining access. There are tons of ways to do a maintaining access. You can just Google about different ways to maintain access on Windows operating system. The one of the case I would say I'll add new user and I can access that user anytime, right? I can gather hashes of that specific existing user to avoid the suspicious activities, and I can use that hash basically to log into that user anytime, right? There are tons of ways to do that using some obfuscated or non-obfuscated method, but that is totally out of the topic. But yeah, that is something which is even considered to do, or that is even the scope of doing the privilege escalation. Gathering hashes and plain text password through memory dump, right? For example, the user logged in or user might have access to a different system or is trying to access their office laptops from their home or the compromised system, right? Using RDP or maybe SSH or something. So those SSH password, RDP password might be saved under the system, and that can be done through the memory, right? And that is something, if we got any confidential, any juicy information, yeah, that's good. This information cannot be retrieved without administrative access. The reason behind that is the normal user will not gonna have debug privilege, and when debug privilege is not there, you cannot get the memory dump, right? There are a couple of other privileges as well which is even important, but I'm just giving you a basic idea. And there are tons of more. You can just Google, search, and Google will serve you whatever you need, right? And that's great. Cool. So you still have any question as of now? Why privilege escalation? What is privilege escalation? Anyone? Any genius guys? Okay. No. Perfect. So I assume that people are lead, no doubt. Okay, the topics are pretty much basic. So yeah, how to escalate privileges? Well, that is something which is not a single way. Okay, there are different operating systems based on what the different cases are. Right. For Windows, there are tons of privilege escalation methods, ways, possibilities. For Linux, there are tons of ways, process, and methods or tactics. So by just following them, you can do the privilege escalation, of course. And if you are super lead, then of course you can find the 0 day, and using that 0 day, you can escalate privilege. Hope that people are aware what is 0 day. Cool. We will be focusing on Windows privilege escalation when tons of ways are available to perform privilege escalation. Of course, I'm reusing the same word, but yeah, that's fair. Enumeration is a must for performing any type of privilege escalation attacks. Yes, that is really important. What people will mostly do is like they just get a basic information. For example, if I just tried to search, I got the local access, I tried to search operating system, I found that, oh, they are using Windows 10 version. and Windows 10 has XYZ exploit, and they just try to use all the exploit. They just bombard it, and when they does, they may crash the system. They may or they might even trigger the security mechanism that someone trying to do that XYZ activities, right? So always enumerate maximum as you can. Note everything. For example, if you got small information, just note it. Understand, try to understand each and everything. And then when you are sure that yes, this is something which we should try or we should do, then you can proceed with it. Elsewhere, you will be crashing the system, and if system is crashed, it will not gonna be rebooted back, and the security mechanism will be alerted that hey, something is wrong with this machine. They'll get their experts to verify what exactly the crime happened, right? So yeah, that is something is important. So always remember how to escalate privilege. Understand what are the possibilities, enumerate maximum as you can, right? And based on both, perform your action. And when you perform your action, you are good enough. Let's start with our very first and very basic privilege escalation technique. Okay, so it's an Autologon credential. By the name itself, you can assume that auto is a for automatic. Logon, you can say login in simple terms, and credential is credential. It's like a save password in your browser, right? But it's not based on browser, it's based on the system. So you might log in you might log into maybe some smaller company websites or XYZ, where you have an option to save your password, or your browser asks, are you sure you want to save your password, and you just save blindly, right? That can be retrieved by the attacker later on, and your confidential information will be delivered, right? Most similar, or I can say similar way is is something which will be focusing here for the Windows. So Windows has I can say implementation, or another simple word, has a feature of saving a password and username to automatically log into the system. Who use that? Who automatically log in? So of course, in a corporate or in many organization, I have seen that the IT admin guys, they are very I can say lazy people, very lazy people. So what they does usually, they just save their password in Autologon, because according to security policies, their password must be very strong, right? And writing that strong password again and again is very difficult, right? You might able to write it for like a week, but after that, what? You might try to find a way that can simplify that process, and the way is nothing but Autologon. They're gonna search how to automatically log into Windows operating system, and what they're gonna get. Okay, you can log into Windows automatically by just adding your username here and adding your password here. They are not aware with the security issues about the same, right? So they just blindly save it, and when they save, they automatically logs in. However, and if someone got access to their system, they can get their credential. And when the credential is there, it's simple to execute anything behalf of that specific user, right? In Windows operating system, basically. So let me go through the slide. Autologon credential, by the name simple, assume that something that logins automatically and their credential, right? Windows offers automatically login to the specific account upon boot. When system starts, it will automatically log in, provide the username, password, like that, right? Even this feature is there in VMware. So yeah, VMware has that tick mark that you want to automatically log in, and if you select, you might breach or leaking your password, right? And that feature requires to save password in a plain text over registry. Now, what is registry? In simple term, I would say registry is nothing but a file system that stores most of the configuration files for the softwares, for the system, and everything, right? All the configuration files are based on or related to that configuration files. The data is stored in a registry, and registry is nothing but a file system. It's like how you open a XYZ folder or your desktop folder or whatnot. It's similar to that, but the location is designed in such a way within the operating system, right? And that is called as registry. So when software wants to keep your session, or software wants to keep your any confidential information, they will gonna use the registry. And from the registry, those confidential information can be gathered when you have the permissions, of course. So without permission, that is not something possible. Okay. And yeah, the location where the say plain text password is stored, that registry permission is allowing anyone or everyone to read it. And when you can read that registry, you'll get the password in a plain text. Of course, the lazy people don't like to write hard or difficult password again and again. Of course, if you have set your password as a password, you can write it a number of times. That is simple. But in corporate world, password should be based on security, based on policies, and yeah, you cannot set password as password 123 or your name at 123. You might have to use some a stronger way, right? So yeah, that is something here. And they search for automatic login way. They'll leak their passwords. Okay. If the password is saved, attacker can read. With the low privilege account, of course, when you want to do a privilege escalation, you should at least, or you must have the local access with very, very low privileges. That's fair. Okay. So let's look at the specific demo. Okay. I'll quickly shift my slides. Just let me know if you can visible. Okay. On count of 1, 2, and 3. Is it visible? Yes, no. One.
Yes, sir. It is visible.
Okay, I got a question first. Let me handle that. User login to root user login. Who said that? Our Steve Mohan. When using multiple tools, can we use something like one password or password storage? Okay, that is something out of topic. We can at the last we're gonna focus on Q&A. Okay, and that time you can answer through the voice medium. Okay, so just have a patience. Cool. Let's continue. My screen is visible. So what I have designed, this lab will be delivered to you. Okay, escalate me as soon as this session is done. This will initiate it to uploading somewhere. Okay, I'll share with Nikhil and you can reach out to him and you can get it. Okay, the lab is designed in such a way that from the web shell you will get initial access, and that initial access will be very limited. You cannot do basically much task. The next task will gonna back once that slide is there. Okay, so specific slide is designed, so let's focus on that. The initial shell will be delivered from the web shell, and web shell will be already found in /upload/web shell.php. Simple, right? So let's begin. We'll start with the getting the initial shell and we'll focus on it. Okay, my current IP address is 10.0.0.16. I'll be focusing on port, let's take 443 itself. Okay, I'll get the PowerShell shell. If you are not aware with this website is really great when you want to create quick shell code or quick reverse shell payloads for various languages and different scripts kind of thing. Okay, so I'll get the PowerShell with the base 64 one, and probably this should work. Okay. RL web is not there. Let me quick install. Come on. If you are not aware what is RL web, so basically that allows you to use up down arrow key over your reverse shell connection. So that simplifies. For 3, that is what I designed as far as I remember. Yes, for 3, correct. So let's execute this command and hope for the best. Perfect, I got the shell, right? If I right now say, who am I? Come on, who am I? Okay, it says Loki. Loki basically is a very low privilege shell, and we have to enumerate, or we have to perform a privilege escalation based on horizontal way. Okay, so if I say net users, I'll get all the user information, Loki, then there is an administrator, of course, that is disabled, but yeah, there is a Loki, Rob, and Demon, right? So probably one of the user I have to compromise as a next. But we will be first learning what is the concept of Autologon. So let's give you quick idea about the same, right? You can add this payload, all the things to your bookmark. It's really great for n number of activities. Okay, the one is Windows privilege escalation. I'll just search for WinLogon, and here it is. So basically, when the administrator or whoever the user will think that, okay, my credential, I want that automatically logged into the system. So what they're gonna do, they'll just add all their username and password in a folder, okay, in a folder or a registry folder specific, which is WinLogon, right? The location is HKLM, which is HK local machine, software, Microsoft, Windows NT, current version, and WinLogon. Let me give you a practical demonstration for the same. Okay, I hope that the Windows system, which is a victim machine, you can see that, right? So let me open my reg. I can just type reg edit, and registry editor will be prompt. Okay, right now it's asking me password, so I can just simply specify. And yeah, because I was aware. So it's a HKey local machine. The next, it says software, Microsoft, Windows NT. Let's go over there. Software, oops, software, Microsoft, Windows NT, current version. And within current version, there must be WinLogon or WinLogon. Here it is, right? And inside this location, as you can see, those are nothing but a folder. Within that folder, there are some files. It is simple as that. But yeah, it's not exactly the files, but it is something like the same, right? So what it says, when you want, when the Autologon is designed, or Windows Autologon is created, the default username and default password is something which is more concerned. Of course, the domain name is nothing but a machine name, you can say, or if it is connected to Forest, then of course the domain name. So default username is something where that username should be specified. Default password is somewhere where the password should be specified, correct? So let's check whether it is there or not. So here you see default domain name, escalate me. Default password is there, and default username is also there. And I can read that. I can see that the daemon user has a password of daemon exclamation 123. Simple as that. Daemon might thought that instead of writing the daemon at exclamation 123 again and again, just save it, because I am the only one who's gonna use this laptop and I can log in a number of times. Of course, daemon is not the administrator, but yeah, daemon has saved their credential to the auto login credential, auto log on mechanism, right? So let's try to read it from our attacking perspective. Because we cannot access GUI, of course, when we have the local permission or local access without the password, of course. So let's see. we can simplify it by this command reg query. Reg is a tool basically available in your Windows operating system. Query means I'm just passing an argument that, hey, I want to query a specific registry height. And you can specify your path, which path you would like to read. So let's try to read it. And here we go. We can get so much information, right? So much information. You can even simplify that by just adding pipe and using find str with default start, because there is a default username, default password, and default xyz. So you can say like find str default and start or abstract, and we are good. Okay, there is a spelling mistake. Let me fix it. Find str, not srt, str default and start. Here we go. I can see that now. The domain name is escalate me. The default username is daemon, and the default password is of course daemon exclamation 123. Simple as that, right? Any queries, questions so far for this Autologon? Like how that mechanism work, how you can get the information, and from where you can get those commands. So basically for most of the privilege escalation commands, you can get it from payload all the things, because all the payloads can be found here. Not just for Windows, for Linux, for Active Directory, for Cobalt Strike, for whatnot, right? That payload all the things is really great, really great. So this is the first choice always, to find or remember the command. Of course, no one can remember all those commands. So finding it very quickly is using this payload all the things. Simple enough. Okay, sir, daemon is normal user now, like no admin. Yes, daemon is a normal user without admin. Okay, because I just wanted to show you that horizontal privilege escalation, and daemon is a normal user. Also, that another user is normal user. I can show you with the net user daemon, and here it is. It says it's a user, little bit privileged power users, but yeah, it's a user. Also is part of remote desktop user. That's all. But when I say net user low key, it says it's just a basic user. I have did slightly privileged, but it's that this user is still not an administrator, but that might be a key to administrator, right? So yeah, daemon is also a user with little high privilege, but daemon is not even a privileged account, okay, or administrator account. The only administrator account is net user, or you can easily find it with the net local group administrators, administrators, and here it is. There is the administrator user who is part of administrators group, and a Rob. Rob is a part of administrator group. I know about daemon process, but don't know about daemon. Okay, so daemon user is something which I created. It's not daemon process. Okay, you are right that daemon process is nothing but any services or any services which is running on your system that creates service specific user, and that considered as a daemon. But here I have created a user with the name of daemon. Okay, it's not that daemon which you are considering for a Linux. Okay, that is for Linux. They're different topic. So can you please explain the groups where the account is associated? Yes. Okay. So what type of group you want me to explain? Rohit. I think I explained that administrators are Rob and administrator. This is within the user, remote desktop user can enables RDP to the system. Okay, so you can just say R desktop, or you can use any remote desktop tool, and that's through that you can just log into that specific user when you have credential, of course. And power user is a slightly higher privilege from the normal user. They can do little bit extra, but here it is just a useless. Trust me, this is very useless. Okay, like local administrators. Okay. I still doubt that I can get your question. Please explain in detail so I'll get back to your topic. Okay. Cool. So, any doubt, queries, question about the vulnerability specific here, that how Autologon works, from where you can get those Autologon credential, and when and how you can get those Autologon credentials from the command line interface. And that is pretty much simple, that you can requery this WinLogon and you can find string with default and you'll get all the username password information. All clear? Okay, that's good, Rohit. You are lead. Cool. So let's use it. We know that the daemon user is part of remote desktop RDP. So I can directly connect to this daemon user using RDP. So it will just simplify the process and we are focusing on privilege escalation. So let's just go with that way. Okay. So let's quickly do it. I'll use Remina for the same because I'm using older version of Windows operating system and some to prevent some authentication on it. Okay, let me delete this. I'll create you. Someone is not on a mute. Please mute yourselves. Okay. So I know the target IP address. It's 10.0.0.15. 10.0.0.15. I know the username. It's a daemon. I know the password, which is daemon at exclamation 123. If I'm not wrong, yes, it is. And you can specify domain if you wish to, but it is not really in need for a normal computer. But if your system is in a forest, or if your system is basically a company laptop or something, then you might, or yeah, then you might have to specify the domain name as well. I'll use the client resolution because I'll get the cleaner version of GUI. Daemon user is nothing but a username. Okay, I'll save and connect. If all goes well, I'll get an RDP access. Of course, I have to allow from here. Okay, no need. All good and super. I am able to get that specific. Okay, clear? Simple enough, right? So now I'm a daemon user with little high permission. I can now execute any tools, any commands, anything, whatever I like through this specific user. I managed to do a privilege escalation, which is horizontal. Simple enough, yes or no? Or just you can write on the chat box. Few answer would be sufficient for now. Okay, super. Okay, I'll quickly shift to my PPT now to get back to further things. Okay. So we got to know about Autologon credential, where those Autologon credentials saves. So basically it saves under registry hive, and within registry hive, you can find the path by just searching on a Google. It's pretty much straightforward. The default username and password is something is the entity or the file where your plain text password will be saved. Simple enough. The next privilege escalation is unquoted service path. Okay, we'll take a short break for like 10 minutes, and once that is done, we'll continue with the further things. Okay, cool. So you have 10 minutes. You can just clear everything what we have learned so far, and we'll focus on the next vulnerability, how we can find what is the vulnerability and everything. Okay, 10 minutes from now, you can start down. Hey, hello everyone. Okay, so I just saw this message. You can even use X-free RDP as well for command line. Yes, there are tons of tools that can be used, but X-free RDP is something which I personally don't like due to some XYZ reason. Okay, so that's the only reason. But yeah, we are free to use and any tool. And yeah, thanks for suggestion. So other can be even aware. Then you can use command line tool X-free RDP to log into insecure connections as well. But our desktop pretty much fails for connecting to any outdated system. That fails basically. Few people are in waiting room. Nikhil, I guess one people.
Yeah, I'll take care of it.
Okay, thank you. Cool. So let's begin. I hope my screen is visible. Just I want one small confirmation. It is, right? Okay. So I'll quickly shift my screen to Linux because the understanding of unquoted service path really requires some more information. So let's understand that. What's that information that is really required? So what I'm gonna do, I'll open my CMD, okay, command prompt. I'll cd to, let's say, c:/. Oops, what's wrong with my keyboard? I hate this. I need to find basically the language is different. I can use this virtual film code, of course. Slog, where's that? Okay. Okay. So now there is a folder called program files. What I'm gonna do, I'll just navigate to that folder. cd again. I should fix this initially. Well, let's just use that this version. That's fair. Okay. cd c:/v, so you can see better. This is the PowerShell, so I can use ls and other commands as well. So for example, if I'm specifying a path of executable, for example, there is a path c:/program space file/test.exe. Okay, this is a path. What will happen when I hit enter? What do you think? What will gonna be happen? Let's just give it a try. So I'll just hit enter. Of course, I'm not gonna get an error in this terminal. Let's use this one only. We'll manage with it. CLS. So again, c:/pro program space. It's not slash. Okay. Program files. This will even work. /test.exe. Okay, just consider that that is a path of executable, and I'm trying to hit enter. As soon as I hit enter, it says c:/program is not recognized as a internal or external command, where I have specified this entire path. Why? What's the reason? I have specified that entire path. Why it just trying to execute this c:/program? There must be a reason. Why?
There's a
Why?
space in the middle between
Correct,
program and file.
correct. So there is a space in between. So if I instead this, if I specify that whole command in within the apostrophe, then it will try to execute the right program, right? So those apostrophes are nothing but quotes. It is now executing the right path. So that is something which is quote. When the quote is not there, that is unquoted, right? When there is a quote, that is quoted. Now let's back to our PPT to get more idea or get more information about the same. But before moving further, I thought that I should initiate with that specific topic. So let me just quickly shift my screen to PPT, and yeah. So unquoted service path, by the name itself, you can assume, or I even explain what is quoted and what is unquoted. When there is a apostrophe, so it can be single, it can be double apostrophe, but when that is specified, that is considered as a quoted. When it is not specified, it is unquoted, right? By the name, we can assume that Windows service path. What is Windows service? I'll explain in a bit. What is quote? I already explained. When it is quoted, it will going to execute the whole executable path when even when it has a space in between, right? And yeah, let's understand what are the services. So Windows uses services to host a software that requires to run continually or continuous. So, for example, you might already hosted HTTP server or XAMPP server in your Windows operating system. So basically, how that runs automatically when you start up that runs automatically in your Windows, or if you saw any servers. For example, if I say Google server, that might be hosted on somewhere, some computer, of course, not a normal computer, but it will be hosted somewhere, right? Then how that software or a program running continuously. So basically it uses service mechanism. I'll explain in a practical way so you will get much more interest. Someone said no voice. I think it's just for you. Please fix your speaker.
So I have a question.
Yes, yes.
So can't we use some escape characters
Yeah,
to?
we can use that. Is something which I'll be going to cover. We are here focused on unquoted, right? To explain that quotation, right? To explain this quotes, the main important is apostrophes, not the backslash or not the escape character, right? So yeah, all good.
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect, cool. So service allows program to run at system startup. There are a couple of others method of start or a boot without user interaction. That is something which is more focused on it. Like a service doesn't require any user interaction. If you have specified any user interactive program, service will fail. So service doesn't require any user interaction, or it doesn't even allow to a user to interact with it, right? It just executes a binary and it keeps in memory running for very long time, or as long as you want. Through the services, a program can remain running for long as Windows shut down or as intended. Those services requires a program name to be executed during start of the service. Of course, when the service is running, it will going to execute a specific program and that keeps running, right? So before moving to the last line, let me switch back to explain what are the services. Okay, Shift F, Control F. It's F1, 2. Okay. Cool. So let's understand what are the services. So I'll just open my services window. Okay, and I managed to get it. I have all the service information, all the service, whatever the services are, I have those information, right? So consider that there is one service was running, which was Apache. We hosted our web shell and we got the shell through Loki, right? So if I go here, there is a Apache service with the XAMPP, of course. So what it will going to do? So it will going to execute C program files, XAMPP, Apache, bin, http.exe. It will going to execute this specific binary continuously on the system. It will keep it running for as long as it does not, or it just not stopped, right? So if I right click and stop, which I don't have permission, of course, but if I am an administrator, I can stop it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Simple enough, right? Let's understand with some more examples. So if I scroll down, I might find some others as well. Let's say, let's take RDP, remote desktop service. Here, this is your RDP service basically, and it will going to execute C Windows System32 SPC host.exe. Of course, those are arguments, and that is not important. But the most important is this path. Basically, the service bin path, binary path, or executable path. I hope that you are clear with the services. What are the services in Windows? So basically, services enables a program to be executed for a very long, right? It has some other advantages as well, but as a beginning, I'll just say a simplified sentence, that is, it enables execution of a program for a long, or you can say it allows you to run a service using different way. So this says start type as a manual. There is a start type, some start type you'll find as automatic. Here you see it says automatic, and there are some with the delayed start, or some with the disabled. Disabled means it will not gonna run at all, not with the administrator, not with anyone, it's just disabled, right? You can manually disable as well. There is one with the delayed start. Let me show you that as well. Automatic and delayed start. Here delayed start and automatic has few differences. When it comes automatic, as soon as your computer boots up, based on a priority, it will execute that service, no matter user is logged in or not. But when it comes to the delayed start, that might require user to be logged in, and once that logged in, it will gonna execute. Or the second case is like it will going to start after all the activities, all the other automatic services are booted up and running properly. So delayed start are something which with the less priority, as simple as that, right? So automatic, delayed start, and disabled, right? Manual are the services which allows any user to execute by just sending some commands, which I might explain in a later one, or explain in a later slides, of course. So yeah, that is something as well. Manual, automatic, automatic with the delayed start, and disabled. Simple enough. Any doubt for the services specific? What are the services or based on services? I hope that it is simple enough. Any queries, questions? I'm waiting for your text. Okay, I assume that you have no queries question for the same. So yeah, one more thing here for Apache 2.4, I got the shell with the Loki. The reason it will going to execute, it is going to execute with the Loki user. So you will get a shell with the specific user which you have specified in logon or in that specific service configuration. So I have created a configuration that only this Apache service will be running through Loki, and I got the shell through Loki. Simple as that. There are some other options as well. You can just Google and find the help menu, but that is pretty much useless as of now. Okay, so I'll be not focusing. The most important here is this path to executable. So I'll just copy it and paste it in, let's say, oops, come on, Notepad. Notepad, I can edit. Format, font. I'll go with the create new with some 20. That's even fine. Yeah. So basically, this executable will gonna be executed upon that start of a service. And when it is with apostrophe, it means it's a quoted. When it is without apostrophe, it means it's unquoted, or there is no quotes, there is no quote specified, right? And the vulnerability will be based on this only. I'll explain the vulnerability. Let's move back to our PPT. Okay, so again, unquoted service path, by the name we can assume that the Windows service path is without quotes or apostrophe. It is correct. Windows uses services to host softwares that requires to run continuously, or a daemons or a services. Basically, that services allow programs to run at system startup without any user interaction. through the services, program can remain running for as long as Windows shut down or as long as the one cannot stop it. Okay. Those services require a program name to be executed during the start of the service. If the service bin path has a value of a program without apostrophe, it might be possible to exploit it and perform privilege escalation. Now let's understand how we can get the privilege shell, how we can execute our malicious things over the system. So let's just give it a shot. Okay. Moving to my here. So as we got to know that when I have specified like how I can fix this keyboard, I hate this. Okay, let me just copy it for now. Okay, C:/program space file space slash binary.exe, right? What it will going to execute exactly without quote, it will going to execute C:/program.exe. The reason is I have already shown you, right? When I tried to execute this, it tried to execute program. And when you don't even specify that exe, it works. In example, if I just cd into C:/system32, okay, now Windows system 32, my bad, Windows/system32, there are plenty of binaries, right? So many binaries, executables basically. Oops. dir star.exe, I'll get all the executable. Now let's take any example of it. So first here, it says xcopy, correct? Xcopy basically it's a tool that enables a copy and paste on the system with some extra features. So if I specify xcopy.exe, it will work. If I specify xcopy, it still works, right? Another example, what I'm gonna do, I'll copy any executable to different path, right? Let's Windows system 32, and let's copy any executable. Let's say PowerShell. PowerShell is not located here. Let's copy CMD only, okay? Or any other better option? Yeah, CMD is fine for now. So I'll copy it to my downloads folder. Okay. I'll just navigate to that download folder by just cd C:/users. Then I have a daemon /downloads. Okay. Here my cmd.exe is. So what I'm gonna do, I'll say, hey, I want to execute CMD. It works, right? I'm still inside the downloads folder. I can even execute cmd.exe. I can even execute .cmd files, .cmd or .dat file. But in some cases, it is prevented when it is configured. So if I just rename this file from cmd to cmd.cmd, okay, wait. It's not renamed actually. File with the extension. It is now. Let's rename it with the cmd.cmd. And if I try to execute it, that might even work. It says something is wrong, but it did execute it. If you see, right? It tried to execute that bad file. It tried to execute that exe file. So the pattern is like it tried to execute cmd, bat, and exe executable when you don't specify any extension. If I say cmd.exe, it will try to execute it. If I say just a cmd, it will try cmd.exe first. If it is not available, it will try cmd.bat or cmd.cmd. Those are some common formats. Okay. Windows directly creates symlinks. No, it is not something. Okay. Clear? So it did manage to, it did try to execute the cmd.cmd, but it is not a cmd program. It's not a bad file, basically command line or scripts. Cmd basically it's a script, but it is not that. So it failed and I got some error. But yeah, I hope that you got to know about how this execution works in your Windows operating system. So we saw that earlier, it did try to execute this program, right? So if I add this program here inside the C drive with the name of program.exe or with the name of program.bat or with the name of program.cmd, I can execute my commands. Simple enough, right? Similarly, let's take another example, C colon, I think sorry, my bad. Okay, I'll copy this path. A space subfolder, okay, slash, I have to copy it again. Subfolder space B slash secret.exe. Now let's take this as an example, okay? So how this execution will work. So first, I hate this. Okay, it works. First, it will going to try to execute C colon slash program, right? Second, it will going to try C colon slash program space files slash a dot whatever it is. It can be a dot exe or a dot bat or a dot cmd, right? Three of them, any of them. So let's say a dot exe. The next, it will try to execute C colon slash program file slash a subfolder slash subfolder dot exe. Correct? This is the last and final is C colon slash program files a subfolder B slash secret dot exe. Simple enough. So the point here is when you have the path is specified within the apostrophes, okay, if it is specified within apostrophe, it will directly execute that program directly. But when it is not the case, it will go with this flow. It will first try to execute this program. If that fails, it will go for C program space files a.exe because after A there is a space. The next it will move to a subfolder, and after the next space is after subfolder. So it will try to execute that subfolder.exe. And the final, it will try the accurate binary. This is the flow for services. Services executable. This is not for when you go for your terminal and type C program and that entire path, but this is something for your services. Okay, so remembering this will be very easy. Now it's time to finding and exploiting the same. Let's see how we can find. Do you have any question queries for the same about this quote and unquote, how the services works and how the service executes binary when it is quoted and when it is not quoted? Any queries, question? Anyone?
Hello.
Yes, tell me.
Whenever it will space, it will be there. Then only it can execute this four step, or any special character is there. Then also it will execute this four step.
Spatial character in the sense, what do you mean by?
Special character means iPhone and any kind of, for example, plus
Oh, you
symbol
mean
and at the rate.
without space, it is something like this, a hyphen subfolder, is it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, then there is no space now. So if I try to execute C colon slash program hyphen files slash secret.exe, it will try to execute that entire path. It will basically, I'm not getting an error, but it will try to execute this entire path, not just till this program. But when there is a space, it will just break down to that, and that's all. It will try to execute wherever the first space it has. Simple enough.
One more thing, sir. This only executing the program file only. We can do as it is same functionality in other folder also, just like my document and document folder.
Okay, so that is dependent on a service. For example, if service is executing a binary from, for example, a user's home directory, then yeah, this can be even valid. But the condition is there must be a space in order to exploit unquoted service path. There are other vulnerabilities that can help you in your case, which I will explain in a later on once everything is done. But yeah, when there is a space in any service's binary path, the binary path is nothing but the executable path here, path to executable. If there is a space and it is without quotes, then we are good enough. Easy.
Yes, sir.
It is it work C colon and then apostrophe, XAMPP, Apache, then HTTPK? Is it work? Forum program files, for what you're saying, I'm not able to understand.
Sir, what if we just double code only program files in the entire path? Is it working?
Well, it will void, as far as I know. It will be void because it will try to consider that apostrophe and it will try to execute that program files. For example, let's give it a try. Okay, so you mean to say you will be specifying C colons and then let's add okay, backslash actually doesn't work, so I need to find that character. Come on. I can copy it from here. Okay, C colon slash, you say you will be specifying this program files and then slash secret.exe.
So you have to put closing single quote as well.
It considered that
We didn't put closing single quote, double quote in the path.
sorry, oh, I forgot the double quote, but it's not even exist, so that's fair. It tried to execute this path, but
No,
I
sir,
don't think
after the program files, double quote closing double quote after the program files.
Okay, so you mean to say you will be just specifying? No, it will be void. It will not allow to specify as such in a services. It will be failed. It will be void. You'll get an error saying that yeah, something is wrong. I will give it a try when we got the administrator. Now we'll create a service with the specified path you are mentioning. Okay, and we'll see what the error it caused. Done.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Done. Okay. All right. Let's move further. If any queries other than this? Okay. I assume no. So let's move further. We got to know about that. Yeah, if the service executable is from without apostrophes, it will going to perform this type of path. Okay, it will going to follow such a path. Now let's try to find services without that quotes. To find it, you can just go back to our payload, all the things. You can just hit Control F and search for unquoted service path. And here you'll find the WMIC command. Okay, so let's copy. Basically, what it will gonna get. So from the registry, from the location where the services is stored, basically it's under registry. It will going to get the name display name, path name, and start mode, how it will going to start, right? It will going to find string with auto, that they want the automatically started services. So let me show you that. SC not here. This user has no privileges to do that. sc.exe query to, or I can just say qc, and a specific service name. So let's say this Apache 2.4. So basically what it wants to say, what the specific query wants to say, they want automatic one. So if you see, there will be auto, this is the auto start, right? So all the auto start services it requires, it don't want, basically -v says I don't want the specific path. So I don't want any services bin path has Windows, because within the Windows all the default programs are installed, right? So I'm not really interested. But if you want, you can just exclude that. The last one, it should not contain double apostrophe. So within two double apostrophe, there is a double apostrophe. So it says it should not contain that double apostrophe. Let's just give it a try. What will gonna get? So I'll just this, and let's hit enter. Oops, CLS. So I hit enter. So it says, yes, there is a service with the name of Repensive service, and that will going to execute this entire bin path, right? It starts with the auto. The service name is Robinson service. So let's try to read it. So sc.exe qc for query. As there is a space, I'll put within apostrophe. You can use single or double. It's up to you. Wait, is something wrong? Sc qc. Let me try with double. Okay, it worked. Perfect. CLS here. So there is a service with the name Robinson service that is without apostrophe, and that will going to execute this entire bin path. So let's take a look for what can be possible scenarios, right? So I'll again copy it to here. This is the first path. For this, the very first thing will gonna be executed is this, right? Correct. Second, it will going to execute. Instead A, it will going to execute this Robinson.exe. The third one is here. Oops. Okay, third. And the final will be the exact path. Oops. This is how the flow will go, correct? Now, the exploitation of this unquoted service path requires few privileges, or requires to check the privileges when or whether we have right access to those specific directories or not. Okay, give me like 1 minute. When 1 minute, someone is at the door, I'll be get back. Okay, I'm back. Cool. So let's check on which directory we have permission to read, write, or execute or not, right? So first we'll start with the C colon. I'll copy that out. To check the permission, there are a couple of ways. The first way is using ICACLS, iCACLS. Okay, you can specify your directory and it will give you what are the permission you have, right? The second way is using PowerShell. So I'll search for PowerShell and get -acl -path, and you can specify your path. C colon, it's backslash. I need to copy it from here. Okay. And it gives you, but of course it doesn't give you at the right. You can just add a pipe. Let me just open this because it's hard to find all the characters. Where's path pipe? Here. You can add a pipe and select access. -expand property, and you'll get all the information, like who has what type of access, right? There is another way you can just add access star, maybe access expand property access. There are a couple of others as well that can be even used, but yeah, basically using this access, you can get all the permission information. It says for authenticated user, it allows append data. Append data means I can just add data to it like that. Then it allows some inheritance permission, right? You can also get all the information by just saying select hyphen list, select star, maybe access to string. This is something which I'm more interested. Hyphen expand property, so access to string. Yes, this is more interesting. So it says authenticated user allows to append data, authenticated users to allow some another, basically this is not something privilege, but this is something heritage first. Heritage, yeah, you can just Google about this specific code and you'll get some information. And system has full control, administrator has full control, but I cannot see users because I'm a part of a users have much permission here. I can just read and execute inside this folder, or here I have append data. I cannot create a directory, or I cannot create a file here basically. So users will gonna be quite failed. Let's see our next part. Similar output will be get from iCackles. It says administrator has full access, system has full access, users has just a read permission, and there are authenticated user and some other permissions as well. Another tool is Cackles. It's similar to iCackles, but it's a Cackles. You can just specify that. So that is another thing. Okay, so here it says you can append a file data. If there is any file you cannot create, but yeah, you can append a file with the authenticated users group. You can, with the user, you can just read, and that's all. Simple enough, I hope so. Let's check the next directory, and that is C program files and ICACLS within the double apostrophe, of course. Let's see. Wait, is something wrong? Yes, program files. Cool. So this says there are some other trust installer. Trust installer will not be gonna focus on it for now. System is the highest privilege, has full permission on it. Administrator has full permission on it. Users have just read and execute. Similar, owner of this folder has full permission. Of course, owner of this folder will be administrator. So this will be even void. I can check the similar thing with my PowerShell get ACL commandlet. So let's add apostrophe and let's paste and add apostrophe back here. So it just gives you similar output, but yeah, there are some differences. So if one program is not exist, there is an alternative which you can use. If that does not exist, there is another alternative which can be used. Okay, simple enough. So we got to know that we cannot write into this file as well, this folder as well. Let's move to the next, which is Robinson service. So let's see. ICACLS, and let's finish it. Here, I got to know about something extra. So I got to know that the daemon user has write access. W is for write. You can just type iCackles help and you'll get all the permission with the information. Okay. Administrator has full permission. System has full permission. Daemon has write access, and Rob, who is the administrator, has full permission because Rob is owner of this specific folder. Clear? So that is interesting. Means I can write into this folder. What I will gonna write? So I'm gonna write secret.exe, secret.cmd, or secret.get. bat file, right? Prefer to go with the exe because that works all the time. Sometimes bat and other fails due to some path related stuff. So always prefer to go for the exe. So I got to know that how to find the information about exploitation. So I got to know that, yeah, that is the location from where I can exploit it. I can just write this service.exe, and instead executing this secret service.exe, it will going to execute secret.exe. Simple enough? Yes or no? Understood? Yes or no? Anyone? That's right. Yes, sir. Okay. Cool. That's perfect. Let's move forward. So let's try to look into that specific folder. So cd, I want to go to that specific folder, of course, cls dir. Of course, I can check that folder with the get ACL just to give you a good idea about it. Okay, it says the same. Rob has full control over this specific folder. Daemon allows to write, read, and synchronizes. Synchronize is basically inheritance related to stuff. Read, execute, and write is something which we are more focused on. Okay, so let's move further. I have this. Let me give it a try to write a test file. So let's say echo hello there, or just hello. I'll redirect using this greater than sign, of course, to test, just to verify whether I can write into this directory or not. I can type dir, and yes, I can write into this directory. Once I can write into this directory, of course, I can add any files over here. So now it's time to create our Trojan. As I said earlier, people should aware with creating Trojan, right? So let's dig into it. To create a Trojan, I'll be using MSF Venom. MSF, let me get to a bash, so I'm not gonna get that. MSF Venom. There are lots of formats, and for the services, there is a specific format. To list all the format, you can just type -L and format. Give me a minute. I'll be back. Somebody is at the door. खान के नीचे दे गया ना, हम बोले थे ना मीटिंग में। Okay, sorry, some neighbor sites are disturbing, but I cannot do anything in that case. Okay, so MSF Venom -L to list all the formats. You can list payloads, you can list other stuffs as well. So yeah. Okay, so here for the service executable, there is a format which is exe-service. Exe-service, remember it. So that enables, or that creates an executable for service-based application. As I said, service doesn't require interactive process. It wants a process that can stay in a background. And service exe creates such a process or executable for you, right? And using it pretty much simple. So what I'm gonna do, MSF Venom -P for selecting a payload. I'll be going with the Windows /shell_reverse_TCP, right? lhost will be my current IP address. I don't remember. It's 16. Okay, I'll copy for now. lhost equals to this. lport is equals to, let's say 443, the favorite. -F will be exe-service, and -O will be output. What name you want your output to be. So I'll say secret.exe because I know that there is a after secret there is a space. So I'll be creating secret.exe. It's done. Let's hit enter. Okay, so secret.exe has been designed and developed. So now it's time to transfer that file. How you can transfer? There are plenty of ways. I'll be using the easiest way, which I always prefer, which is smb server.py -smb to support -f, no, not need, as public or whatever share name you want. And I want to share this directory. This will create a temporary SMB server, and I can log in that from the system. So Windows R /back, oops, I cannot specify backslash. Okay. //10.0.0.16 it was /pub, oops, /pub. And here it is. I have my secret.exe. The next task will be to copy this file secret.txt over here. I'll using the command line interface only copy the specific path /secret.exe. Oops. Secret.exe to current directory. Dot means current directory. Okay, it says one file copied. If I type dir, secret.exe has been implemented here. Now, what's next? We can wait for the system reboot, or we can reboot the system to execute our service binary. How we can do it? That's simple. That's not a super difficult task. First, I'll start by listening on port number 443. Oops, Ctrl++. RL wrap, so I can use up down arrow keys and other things. Okay, and I'll restart this system. Shut down /R for restart /T for time and 0 for immediate. Let's do it. It's restarted, and let's for that system to be back. As soon as it is back, we'll get the shell. Let's wait. I'll be back in a minute. Let's wait for, meanwhile, let's wait for this. All right, back. System is almost rebooted. Okay, it seems it should. It is not. Oh, okay. There's a reason. There was a notepad open with the temporary data, due to which it didn't restart it. Let's do it now. No problem. Let's go open again. Terminal, shut down /R/T and 0. It should work this time. To verify, we can go here. It will be turned off. Yeah, let's start anyway. Cool. Sorry. Hello. Hello. Okay. System is almost restarting, and as the service is auto start, upon restart, that service will gonna execute. But this time, instead of executing that secret service, it will execute that secret.exe because there is a no code. And you see, system is booted. I got the shell. Who am I? I'm a Rob, and Rob is an administrator. The service was executing through Rob. Let's verify. Get, sorry, sc.exe. It's Robin Siu. Oops. You see, Robin Siu service, and here it is. That service starts with Rob user. right? It's not running with empty authority system, but usually you will get empty authority system. But now I know that I'm a Rob, and Rob is an administrator. So when I am an administrator, I should have all the permission, all the privileges over the system. Simple enough. And what executable it executed? So secret.exe. I can verify it maybe in a process, but not with this. There are some other process explorers are available that can be used to validate that, but let's verify. Task list. Let's see if secret.exe is running. Secret, come on, show me. Basically, that goes in a child process of this SVC host. So you won't find it here, but there are some other process explorer that gets the child process as well. So that is another thing. Maybe PowerShell. No, PowerShell will even not able to get that. But I hope that you will get an idea that yes, how it works, how you can exploit, how you can find, right? Any queries, question as of now for everyone? Hello. I can show you from Task Manager actually. So let me give it a shot. Okay. Task Manager. S903 and here. Okay. I can go to details. No, it requires administrator access. Secret. It requires administrator probably. But yeah, that basically executed my executable and I got the shell. Still waiting for queries, question. Anyone? Where's my...
How do we migrate from one process ID to any another process?
Okay, migration is something which is a different task, and this is not a class for that specific, but yeah, that can be possible. You can use Metasploit, of course, for a simplest way. You get the shell in Metasploit, there is a argument or there is a command like migrate and your process ID to simplifies it. Or if you want your binary to be migrated at the runtime, then you might have to write your own. And that is something which is on a high level. You can go for a course or you maybe learn OSCP concepts. And yeah, I'm not saying to purchase it. There are leaks available. You can just go and check it. For OSCP, it explains how you can migrate or inject into a process. Clear?
Yep.
Perfect. Okay, let me move back to my slide then. Control F1. Perfect. So we are aware about unquoted service path. Service path basically without quotation or quotes, then it's unquoted. And when it is unquoted, if there is a space in between, then you can check for the permission you have for the current user. And if you find that the current user has permission to write into that or modify into that, then you can just drop your executable. The next time the service restarted, that can be manual, that can be through the system reboot, your program will gonna be executed. And if your program has your program does not have this basically reverse shell command, your program can even have adding that local normal user to administrator group. You can create your executable that will just gonna execute command to add your low-key user or add your the daemon user to administrators group. And that's pretty much it. When you are administrators, you can do so many things, correct? Cool. So yeah, that is all for unquoted service path. I'm still waiting for question, queries, or anything if you have.
Can you mention the world writable directory in Windows?
Okay, what writable?
world writable directory like.
Okay, you mean everyone can write into that specific directory, correct?
Yes.
Okay, the first one is C, Windows and temp. Okay, the second one is task, and the third one is tasks s. It is something with that. Three directories are there, which is allowed. Which is allowed by allowed to everyone to write into it. So yeah, C, Windows, temp, and then tasks. Okay.
There is also one of the directory, something called spool.
Yeah, there are a couple others as well, but the one I'm saying is something which you'll find always. Like temp is something which is in need. Task is something for task scheduling. So that must be always allowed for everyone to write into it.
Okay.
Hmm. Anyone else? Okay, I assume no as of now. Now, what should I learn next? How should I learn next? And from where should I learn next? Okay, so let's before moving further, let's understand what are the basic, very basic techniques which is required, or which is something you can start with off, right? And OSCP is really basic course. It's not something that is advanced. It's very basic. So if you focus on the concept, you'll got to know that it's very basic, because when you move to the advanced stuff, you'll get to know that yes, that was really very basic. Never mind. So let me share my screen in order to give you some basic tips, what you should learn next, how you should learn next, and from where you should learn the other topics. Perfect. So here I'll be just searching, of course, Google Xmine. Basically, I have dropped one Xmine, okay, mind map for OSCP things, where a couple of vulnerabilities I already added there. Couple of privilege escalation and so many initial access things. So you can get it from there. There are, let's just wait for this to load. It's very giant, maybe. Okay, all right. So this is something which I created in early 2021. Initially, first month. I don't even remember this because it's quite long. Okay, how I can drag. Okay, so for privilege escalation specific for Windows, I don't want Linux, so I'll just remove it from here and we'll focus on Windows. So what are the vulnerabilities you can focus is something which you'll find in PowerUp and WinPeace and some exploit suggested. Okay, so the first thing here is the PowerUp. To get that PowerUp, there is a shortcut. You can just click on it and you will be redirected to PowerUp. Oh wow, this is no longer active. I wasn't aware. Okay, so let me search PowerUp and PowerUp. GitHub. Here it is, PowerSploit and PowerUp. Okay, so basically within the PowerUp, there are so many vulnerabilities specified, and those are pretty much very basic. And this is entirely created in PowerShell. So you can start with this PowerShell. Just get to know what are the vulnerabilities that offer to exploit or that offer to enumerate through the PowerShell, right? So let's just give it a try to execute this PowerShell on our target machine. Let's see what are the information it gathers. Okay, let's just give it a try. So I'll boot up my PowerShell. PowerShell-EP bypass. EP bypass is just for execution policy bypass. $home, CD downloads. I already kept it within the system. So you get a lab. That lab will gonna have this power up and win piece, so you can execute it. Okay. To import this power up, you need to execute this power up. You need to import first, and to import it, the command is import -module, and then your module name or the location, of course. It's imported. The next is invoke -all checks. That is pretty much it. This will gonna check everything related to it, and it immediately reverted back saying that, hey, there is a service with the Robinson service that has some information. You should go and check that. And it says it's with unquoted service path, unquoted service path, unquoted service path, right? This is all possibilities. Basically, you can just use this abuse function in order to write into that specific directory, whatever it says, right? So yes, this is something which it managed to find. You can type get -help -module, get help module it is, or power up, searching help for power up. Here it is. So it will gonna give you all the information about it. So you can just it should work. The module argument should be there. Get help -module, name, path, category, component, functionality, role, detail. Let's say full power up. Okay, this will give you full information about that specific module. But this is not something which I'm really interested, but you can Google about it. What are the other options that PowerShell or PowerUp offers, or you can just read and go through it. You'll find some comments. Comments has most the important information. Read it, try to understand, try to perform, try to get that smaller snippet, try to execute it, and all good, right? So I can even type invoke and tap. So it will gonna get all the different possibilities: history, invoke item, service, invoke, service, abuse. That is the one which is from PowerShell. So basically, you can just search here. You can find it, start the vulnerability that PowerUp offers, complete those vulnerabilities, completely understand that, and move to the next. What is the next? So the next is WinPiece. WinPiece also automates lots of process. So I'll just have to execute that executable. It's designed in C#, and yeah, by just executing, you'll get nice color output. And this gives more information, more than what we can even expect. Okay, so sometimes it gets so much useless stuff. Sometimes it gets interesting stuff as well. So if I scroll up, scroll up, will mainly focused on red color, of course. So okay, this says I have access to this folder, but this is my own folder, C user daemon, so not really interested. It says within the tasks, C system32 task and C Windows task, those are allowed to write into. So the one of the guy was saying which are the paths. So these are the path. Scroll up, scroll up, scroll up, scroll up, scroll up. Those are pretty much false positive, I would say, because the path is from registry hype. It's not from C Windows system32, or it's not from C program files or anything. Okay, here. So this is something which I found even interesting. It says program files has a program files usually has all the folders to only allowed administrator to have write into, but now here it says Robinson service has write data access or create file access. So that is something which is even interesting, and that is straightforward. If I scroll up, I'll get more information. Scroll up, scroll up, scroll up. Here we found that Autologon credential, right? So this automatically finds that Autologon credentials as well. So you no need to do everything manually when you have basically this automation tool, right? There is a low key user. It says it's very low privilege user. Demon shows in different color and Rob shows in a red color. That means it's an administrator. Scrolling up, scrolling up. Okay, so here's some command history is there. Let me check other things. Probably it's done. Come on. Come on. Should be done. Okay. It also disclosed some common CVEs. Okay. You need to validate always before executing any of the exploit based on CVE. The reason behind that is that can crash your system. And when system is crashed, the security team will gonna be alerted. And that's pretty much it. Basically, I haven't added much vulnerabilities yet, but the vulnerabilities was 2. Autologon credential, which it did manage to find. Some other information is also there that can be helpful when you are doing this privilege escalation task. The automation part I just wanted to focus was on WinPeace, and the second one is power up. So yeah, the another way to import this power up module is you can just add dot and dot slash. That's pretty much it. Simple. Okay, there are some messages. Sir, I can't hear your voice. Sir, I can rejoin, sir. Paper of head to box is based on LinkedIn. Okay. Okay, I think it's not a question. Cool. So yeah, that is all from what you should learn next. So focus on power up topics. What are the topics power up supports? Focus on them WinPeace. What are the topics which WinPeace supports, right? WinPeace has other options as well. You can just add -- help and you will get so much information. So if you want just a few information from WinPeace, you can just say, okay, I just want Windows logons. I just want the process information, services information, application information. So for example, let's say Windows credits. So it will just get that Windows credits from me or whatever is inside that Windows credit. So if I try the other things, I can get that. So you can use that as well. So there are other things which can be even helpful. Just take a look, try it, and it will be easier for you to learn. Simple enough. Okay, some good blogs I would recommend for the same is you can of course go for this entirely. You can understand, you'll get some idea. The next is of course this payload all the things is the number one I recommend when you are aware about a specific exploitation. For example, if I search for USC, oops, unquoted service path, it's with the reference. Okay, so here it just gives you the command basically. It doesn't give you the proper reference. Of course, in the bottom there is a reference, but it's not for all. But you can just go and read it. You can just go from pentest.blog and read it, and it's the number one, right? You can just keep it in your local system by just git cloning and whatnot. The next, of course, is hacking articles. Hacking articles is also the great. Here it explains what are the other tools that is for Windows. So the first one here is WinPeace, Seatbelt, SharpUp, JAWS, Power Up, Powerless, PowerSploit, and there are tons of, right? So you can just give it a try. One of them, you can just use the existing lab, the one I will give you, and you can try all the other tools. And it will give you the basic idea how you can execute tool, what are the information can be found from the same. Simple enough? Perfect. Let me quickly move back to our slide. So, of course, the hacking articles is good. Hacktricks is also very good. I must recommend. If you are even if you want something that is really informative or that is something in detail, then Hacktricks is really great. Hacking articles is like most known one, and that has a lab creation method. You can create your own labs by just following hacking articles, and there are other things as well. So hacking articles is also great, no doubt. Payload all the things is like one of the first choice which I prefer. Okay, but if you are learning, then other blocks should be captured. Okay, other blocks should be your first try. Okay, so that's pretty much it from me. You'll have some time to Q&A. You can ask me a question that can be on topic, off topic, but based on the cybersecurity, not a personal question or related to it. But yeah, you can ask questions. Of course, raise your hand, please. Those questions?
Guys, if you have any questions, please free to ask for the chat
People
box
are
or
very
raise
weak.
the hand as well.
Okay.
Okay, there is a question.
Linux is there, and a privilege escalation based on kernel level, sir. Okay, so kernel level depends on which kernel it is in use. You can always go for this uh, lin piece. Similar to win piece, there is a lin piece. Lin piece also managed to find multiple kernel based exploit. It will give you a link. Just follow that link and you can give it a try. If it is trying, if you are trying on a labs, of course, for the real time, don't expect those to be working well, because most of the time that just crashes the system. Resources for Windows escalation, I already shown you. The one is hacking articles is really great. The hack tricks is great. And the number one is your payload all the things. Go for payload all the things, and payload all the things has most, or I can say all the privilege escalation possibility. Can you suggest any playlist course for Windows exploitation and privilege escalation? Okay, so for that, I don't remember well, but there is one course that was leaked, of course, and that was really great. Let me give it a minute. I'll quickly find it for you. It's from. Give me a moment. You can find it easily online. It might be under. Uh, yeah, it is Red Team Nation, Red Team Blueprint. This is great, no doubt. It's worth it. I'm not saying to buy it, but if you can buy, of course, if you have money, you can buy it. But this is the course which will really help you. Really help you. This is great, the great course, no doubt. I'm not sure about that, but yeah, the one I shared is something which you can go for. There are like so many things. Let me share the screenshot if I can. No, I cannot. Okay, here, but yeah, I can basically you can just go for that, and it will help. You can just search about the course content. People say, oh, I'm not really sure about it. OSCP, yeah, people say. A few of my colleagues did recently. They said, yeah, it's hard for now, AD based specific. And yeah, I'll soon releasing a course. I already got approval from offset, so I'll be releasing a course based on that OSCP. And I will, once it is done, I'll you can reach out to Nikhil as well. So yeah.
So what I request is, while this Q&A is going on, I will post the quiz form, which will be again, as always, open for 20 minutes, and feedback form as well. So you can obviously continue with the questions. Meanwhile, I'm posting the quiz form in the feedback form link. So we are starting here at 12:10. So by 12:30 we'll be closing it. Okay, in 20 minutes.
I don't think it will be difficult for everyone.
Huh?
It's very simple. Everyone can do it easily.
Yes. Good, very good. Okay. So meanwhile, you guys can continue with the questions. That's not an issue. Also, I'm posting the feedback.
Rikun sir, I wasn't able to hear you exactly when you said some course. So can you repeat the course?
Yeah, I already dropped that in a text. If you see the text now, there is a Red Team Nation course. You can just Google about. You'll find some free websites from where you can download it. Of course.
Okay.
If you have money, then I recommend to buy it. It's a great course. The creator has spent many hours. So yeah.
So it is available on One Hub.
The machine, you mean?
No. ONE Hub, the group.
I'm not sure. I'm not into it. Sorry about that.
You are in the Mystico, right?
You're from Mystico.
Yep. I am from.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. Your name, please. Who are you?
I just text you on the Telegram.
Okay.
So real name is different and the name is different.
Sir. Okay. We talked earlier.
Yes, in 2020 we talked.
The time I think I was fighting with his name with. Okay.
Rikun sir is one of our best team member, core team member.
Hello, Rikun sir.
Yes.
So another question from the YouTube. They are asking, is there any already prepared lab available?
For the specific, yeah.
Windows
So
privilege escalation.
correct. So yeah, this lab which I have designed, I will be sharing to Nikhil, and you can reach out to Nikhil, and Nikhil will share it with you. Simple as that. It's not very giant. It's just 5 gigs, 5 GBs with the 5 GB somewhere. I don't even remember, but yeah, it's somewhere with the 5 GB. You can just use it with your VirtualBox, VMware, whatever you have. You can just install and start using it.
Okay, you can share it. Forward.
Yeah, sure. I'll upload it on my drive. Then you can just copy it from there, and you can keep it your drive, so I can delete it from mine. Yeah.
So also, I just wanted to take a group picture. If whoever is comfortable turning on their videos, just if they can turn on their videos, it would be great. We'll just take a group picture. And sir, if we are done with the presentation part, you can stop sharing the screen so that I can take the gallery view.
It's done. Thank you all.
Yeah. So please be there, and we'll just take a group picture. So whoever is comfortable, please turn on the camera. Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone. So again, you can continue with your questions, and if you have any queries with the quiz also. Rikun sir, if you can, if you want, you can share anything. I'm done with the.
Okay. Nah, it's fine, I guess. But yeah, that will gonna be look better. Okay.
All right, all right.
Don't think questions are difficult. It's very easy. Not much as well.
Also, you can follow Rikun sir on LinkedIn for further updates.
Yep.
If you want, you can share your LinkedIn handle or LinkedIn URL specifically. So
Okay. So you can find me with the name itself. I have the one with the unique. I'm the one with the unique name. So yeah. Let me quickly stop. Where to? Okay. So you can go to Google. You can just search Rikun with, of course, surname, and you'll get all the information. Of course, the LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter. I don't use YouTube at all. My GitHub, where some tool is there, and some other interests. So yeah. So the LinkedIn handler can be just gathered with the Google with my name. That's all.
okay, so yeah, Mahadev sir has also shared the LinkedIn URL of Rikun sir, so you can use that. Okay, Rikun sir, there's a question in the chat.
Oh, I saw that. Okay, it's from Sudesh. Okay. Remember my one old student. Okay. Seven thread. Intelligent defense tools. That's not a question. Okay. So can you name some product-based company or service-based company where college student can apply related to this domain? Look, I personally recommend if you are a college student, it's time for you to learn, not to earn. So I always recommend to student to learn new thing every day. Every day, one single new thing you should learn. So you should not be focused on earning. It's okay if you don't get a job. You just keep trying on Hack the Box or Walnut. You can keep trying on a bug bounty platform. That will build up your mindset. And no company likes any child or any college student to be their employee. The reason behind that is their nature, their hormones, right? They are quite aggressive with the nature. They are quite aggressive with multiple things. So they prefer a mature guy over the student. So I suggest you keep learning yourself, keep teaching yourself, keep just researching. You have the time. When you join a job, when you get a job, you're not gonna get the time to learn new things. So it's a time, learn, focus on learning, learn. That's all. Hope that helps. Oh, hey.
Those who are done with the quiz and feedback form, and if they don't have any questions, they can if they want, they can just leave it or else stay back if they have any questions for the speaker.
The reason, one more reason is like when you get a job now, you will not gonna improve yourself. The company wants you to be working as a worker, right? You will be their worker. You just have to work so they can earn. You will not gonna get learn. You have to do the same task again and again. And trust me, there is no fun to do the same task again and again. Instead, you have time, learn new things, find new things, and spend your time over it. When you really need money, that time you can go for a job. When you don't really require that, or it's not your priority, then go for learning. With the learning, you can go for bug bounties really helps you to earn good, not initially, but you'll get so much learning with the corporates, or with your thing. Okay, so can you tell, okay, maybe for that OSW review you need another session, or you can reach out to me personally. It's something which I was already aware of, because I was already doing some automation tooling and scriptings, right? So it wasn't that difficult. The difficult part was finding the vulnerabilities. Exploitation was not really that difficult, but yeah, finding that vulnerabilities was 100% difficult for the OSW. And once I managed to find, it was easy for me to automate that entire process because I was aware. So yeah, you can go for any programming language, and any scripting language as you're learning, if you are planning for OSW, of course.
Even Rikun sir is having his great session on buffer overflow, Windows buffer overflow over the YouTube in the Mystico conference.
It's not a buffer overflow. You misunderstood it.
Oh, it was a buff.
It's not buff. It's FOB. FOB, file
Okay,
operation.
okay, okay. Let me check again.
It's FOB. Okay. So
I
yeah,
just saw the banner in the Mystico.
yes. It
It's
was
BOF.
It's
They have
FOB.
written BOF.
No, it should be FOB. FOB, file operation bug.
Yeah, ask Virsecon to change that.
Yeah, no worries. Okay. It's with the last Mysticon, right?
Yeah, 23rd, 2020.
Yeah, 2020. Yeah, I did. I remember the last I did was on FOB, file operation bugs.
Okay.
I'm planning for OSCP this year. I'm in class 12 student. Shall I attempt job? Okay, you are in 12th. Well, brother, you should not. Trust me. OSCP is something that will help you when you have the job. So once you are done with your graduation, get a job. Once you have the job, go for OSCP. Without that, I don't recommend. Trust me, I don't recommend. Or if you just want a learning, then you can go for it. Go for it blindly. But if you're focusing on getting a job with OSCP, it's waste. OSCP is too costly. I wish I wish I'm very rich so that I can help you with the cost. Okay. Thank you,
You
sir.
can arrange some coupons or something like that.
Yeah, if I'm earning in millions, then I'm sure I could have done already for Mystico, for this, for whatnot.
So hack the box in comparison to the OSCP, hack the box seems little bit hard when it comes to the medium and hard machines. Whereas in the OSCP, I have read the leak report of the OSCP. So as per that, I am considering that OSCP medium machines are not that much actually medium in comparison to the hack the box.
Yeah, look, I don't exactly know, but I did in 2020. Okay, that time not those much resources was not that much. That time resources was quite less, but still it was enough for learning. So yeah, that time it was quite easy, quite easy. I did hack the box. If I say hack the box, easiest machine is the toughest machine for offset
OSCP, yeah.
at that time. But the time is changed, so resources are available. So people are aware with the different vulnerabilities, right? The reason that's the only reason that the newer OSCP must be very difficult.
Even the new OSCP syllabus I saw, they are carrying everything from the basic. Usually they used to take from the intermediate level to the advanced, but now if I saw the syllabus, they are even you are carrying ls command and all that in that.
Hmm. Okay.
It seems you have been not active that much on the hack the box. It's been one
Yes,
year.
actually, I moved to freelancing. I do.
Uh-huh.
I'm working also. Along with that, I moved to freelancing where I get some private projects. So by the doing that private projects now, you don't get that much time. Of course, I do some challenges, but it's not from the hack the box. Of course, the challenges are based on the new technologies. For example, the cloud is there. So there's a cloud dot one of the website. I don't remember that website at the moment, but yeah. So when I get some task or when I need something, so I just try to learn from the labs or from the available resources in my
Mhm.
private projects, basically. Yes. How I can publish CV? What is requirement? Okay. CVE, you need to get one, of course, first. So CVE basically common vulnerability. For example, if I'm using a router of dealing, the same model router can be used by n number of person. Similarly, I'm using a software, that software can be used for n number of person. So you find a bug in that software, in that router, or in that specific web application, and you can reach out to their company. Of course, if their company has that responsible disclosure, then they'll gonna assign a CV and they'll gonna patch it in the next release based on what the criticality it has. So you cannot publish. Okay. The company who will go or for in which you got that bug or vulnerability, they will gonna publish and they will gonna give you that specific. Okay. And there is some if I remember, for open source you have to register, but don't go for open source. It's waste. I was not aware about this. Okay, now for open source, you might aware about open source. For open source software from GitHub or something, you have to go. Blockchain, cryptocurrency, no, I'm not really aware about cryptocurrency and blockchain. I'm not aware. I don't use at all. Sorry about it. Any project related ideas, like just explain in brief so I can answer in brief.
I think they are asking about the last year project. They are in the last year in the college and they are asking for the project, I think.
I can't help you with that, trust me. The one I delivered was from someone else, I guess, from my mentor. So I just not bought, I just took from him and I just delivered. So yeah, college studies is really not that not that I can say informative at this time, at least. It's sometime I feel that it's useless. It's just to show you that yeah, you have the XYZ degree. That's all. Yeah, it's for formality. Okay, that's all. I guess we are going into different direction of questions and answer, and that is out of topic completely. And yeah, we should end up the session.
Yeah.
So thank you all for
Thank you very much, sir, for joining us and guiding our interns. So thank you very much for your valuable time. And
Thank you, sir. Awesome session.
thank you all.
yes, yes. I
Baby.
hope everyone has filled a feedback form. I will be sharing the same with the record.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Ciao. Ciao all.
Okay, we are